everyone, it's Linda Sobraski with Sapphire Paper Crafts, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. How is everyone today? In this snowy day, this weather is crazy. I hear it's supposed to be like 70 on Wednesday, I think my husband said. And it's, I don't know what it is. Let's see, what's my phone say it is right now? It's probably 20 some degrees. Let's see. Maybe not. Let's see. It says it is, I don't know, because my phone is acting up. What does it say? 24 degrees right now. So that's just crazy. That's why everybody's sick all the time. So I have to turn the speaker off on my phone because I have my Facebook. Hey Cindy, I have my Facebook page open because I was trying to get all the in colors off my Facebook page to put on here so I could go through them with you guys again. Couple things. Hello, Nikki. And CJ, because I'm sure he's with you. Savings are in bloom. You got till the 31st. So what is that? Thursday? To get these sets that are 20% off right now. Let me put the camera down. So you can get the mini stamp cut and emboss machine and the all squared away bundle and several other bundles. They are all 20% off right now. I would suggest if you are thinking about getting the cut and emboss machine to get it while it's on sale, the little one, because the price is going up in the new catalog. So this would be your best bet right now. And then the last chance is also on my Stampin' Up! Page. And this is all the product on the annual catalog that is going to be discontinued. And some of it is discounted. Quite a bit of it, 20% off. So make sure to go through that list and see. Here's some that is 40% off, some of the ribbon and some of the embellishments. So go through there, and if there's anything you want, make sure you get it, because it is when it's out, it's out. Like here's an embossing folder that's 50% off. And here's some dies that are actually 50% off. So take a look at that last chance list and see. Also, the one thing I have been doing is stuff that is 10% off with bundle prices. If there's anything that I want out of there, I have been ordering it, because more than likely in the new catalog it's not going to be a bundle price. So get it now why it's 10% off. I will tell you also, there's a couple things going on in Stampin' Up! Prices are going up. It's unfortunate, but with a lot of it has to do with the freight and the trucking and all that and the gas and all that, the logistics part of the whole thing. So stock up on paper if there's paper that you like that you go through. I know I'm going to put an order in for a bunch of basic white, and I'm trying to think what else. Shipping is also going up. Right now, shipping is 10% of your order, and it is going up to 12%. And I believe, let me flip back. Let me check. I thought it was April something. I'm looking for you. They had some inventory delays for the March paper pumpkin. I think they got that all taken care of. I don't. I'm trying to see where. Let's see, it's a savings in bloom. I will have to find that date for you. I think it's, I want to say it's going to start like April 1st. But I don't exactly remember when. Yeah, I want to say it's April 1st, but I'm not entirely sure. And I can't seem to find it right now. The new catalog is coming out. Actually, I get to start ordering from it Friday. And I have not gotten mine in the mail yet. I am waiting for it. Of course, I can't show anything to you until the catalog goes live, but I have seen it. It is very pretty. There's a lot of cute things in there, some whimsical things. I should be getting a stamp set any day now from it. So as soon as I get that, I'll start playing with that, and I'll be able to show you that. Don't forget also, we've got the new in colors, and now we got to start getting used to these names. We have Parakeet Party. Don't ask me why. Cindy says it does not look like a parakeet, it looks like a parrot. But it's Parakeet Party. Sweet Sorbet. Tahitian Tide. That almost looks like Balmy Blue, huh? Starry Sky, which that's pretty. I like that. That's the purplish blue. And Orchid Oasis. I like that one too. So those are the new in colors that are coming that are going to be replacing, let me tell you in 1 second what they are replacing. Cinnamon Cider, Just Jade, Bumblebee, Magenta Madness, and Misty Moonlight. So stock up on those, because come May, those will be going away also. And then don't forget about, is that? I'm still trying to get this kit. I've got some people that want it, and it's still out of stock. I was hoping I had the item number on there, but I don't. March Paper Pumpkin. April paper Pumpkin. I don't know why I labeled it March. You have to April 10th to order this. Change is beautiful. And I believe it makes 9 cards again. So don't forget about that. Are there monkeys in there? I think there might be. So that's it. That's all I have. With all my little what's happening. And today we are going to play with Amazing Silhouettes, this stamp set here. And unfortunately, I need a bunch of sympathy cards. So that is what we're going to make tonight with this stamp set. This has got 3 stamps in it. And it's a little bit different because it's a silhouette. So, like, the butterfly is not colored in, but around it is. So you will see what we have here. I'm trying to put that somewhere where it's not going to be in the way. So the first one I'm going to make is this one here. So I just sponged this, and then this with sympathy is from, what set is that from? That is from the Special Moments set, which was a celebration set. And then I use the 3D Hive embossing folder on this. And a little bit of the in color soft succulent ribbon, and then inside I said heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you, and then I stamped the butterfly. And this sentiment is from Quiet Meadow. So let's start this. First we're going to do our front. And I'm going to try doing this a little bit differently than what I did, because this came out real pale papaya. And I wanted more of the green and more of the soft succulent and more of the fresh freesia. So what I'm going to do, and I re-inked soft succulent, but I didn't do the other ones. I've been trying to re-ink my stamps stamp pads as I've been using them, because they all need it. So let's get the stamp out. Oops, sorry guys. So I'm going to take my pale papaya, and I'm just going to stamp with my dauber. Kind of all around. And then I'm going to take my fresh freesia, and I'm going to kind of fill in some places. And then I'm going to take my soft succulent, and yeah, see, you can tell I redid that one. I need to redo these other two. Okay. And then I'm going to stamp this. I'm going to try moving it over a tad more so I have more room for my with sympathy. So that definitely came out different than the first one. You can see. Oops. And then I am going to stamp the With Sympathy. I can find out what I did with it. I had them all right here. Here it is. With my Memento, which I need to re-ink this one too. I'm going to stamp this down on the bottom here. And then I'm going to take my Pale Papaya ribbon, and I'm just going to put two little dabbies. Nikki's going for a ride. They finally got their new car today. So when you go to buy a car and they tell you it's in transit and it'll be here by the end of the week, don't believe them, because it's been 3 weeks. And then I'm just going to take a piece here and I'm going to slide it under. And just tie a little knot there. Whoops. I hate when I do that little tail thing. I still did it. So I took a piece of 8.5 by 11 cardstock and I cut it in half, 4 1/4 and 11 lengthwise, and I'm just going to fold this in half. I found my bone folder. I think it's in a box. I had a little mini class this weekend. And then I'm going to put the Pale Papaya. It's cut just 1/8 of an inch smaller than the ribbon, than the base. Well, I did put my ribbon around. The sample, I had the ribbon around this beehive too, but I didn't. And you know what I think I'm going to do? I think I am going to pop this up and give it some dimension. I have to tell you guys, and they were laughing, they said I would probably do this. Like I said, I had a little mini class this weekend, and they're fairly new. I mean, they're good stampers, and they do real well with everything, and they're getting the hang of everything. They're not avid stampers. Let's put it that way. And the one lady, you know, the dimensionals, we call them all kinds of things. We call them pop dots. You know, we come up with all kinds of things. She called them risers, and we got such a kick out of that. So from now on, we're calling dimensionals risers. She took it all in fun. I have a good time with this bunch of ladies. So there we go. See, I mean, look at how much this card is changing as we're doing it. And then on the inside, I want to stamp this heartfelt love. And then I had stamped that little butterfly on the bottom. And you know what? I think I'm going to do the same thing with this butterfly. I didn't on the sample, but I think I'm going to do the same thing with the butterfly. I'm just going to kind of, I think this one though, I'm going to have to do a little bit of that. And put a little fresh freesia. And then the soft succulent, we know that's juicy, so we're just gonna kind of go like that, and hopefully it'll come out good. Yeah, that's cute. This is how it was on the original one. It's kind of light, but that came out cute. And it matches the front. So let me just put some glue on here. And stick this inside. Like that. So there we go. A real quick and easy set. I like that we dimensionaled this one up. It just adds a little bit more to the card. So that's the first one. And then for this one, we're going to do a monochromatic. Okay. So we're going to use the same tree. I like this tree on here. And we're going to use the beehive folder again in soft succulent. And this one we have opening this way. And we use all soft succulent on here. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take our piece of soft succulent, cut in half this way, this time the other way, so it's cut in half, 5.5. We're cutting on the 11-inch side in half. I'm talking with my hands like you guys can see me. Maybe here. There we go. I could talk with my hands now. So that's that, and then there's our inside, and we can attach this beehive, and again this is just cut 1/8 of an inch smaller than what our base is, and we're using the same color, so we're using soft succulent, and this would be pretty in all the in colors. It'd be pretty if I put it on the paper straight too. Let's see. Okay, so on this small piece, we're going to stamp the tree again in soft succulent. I'm going to clean it real quick. The chamois a little wet. Okay. By the way, I got my blends holder. I am so excited that it's so pretty. It is so pretty. My blends are all right here next to me. The lights and the darks are all together. Ah, I love it. I can see them all. Okay, so I'm going to put this right in the middle. There we go. And then I'm going to take one of our blending brushes with the soft succulent, and there's probably still some on there, and I'm just going to blend all of this together. And I didn't mask off the center because I just figured I could kind of work around it. And you can put as much or as little as you want on it. I got my top corner's got a lot on it. Okay, I think we'll leave it at that. And then I'm going to cut a little notch in the bottom, and I'm going to use my banner, my triple banner punch, to punch this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line it up with the trunk. Okay. Now it's going to leave this edge because that's as wide as the triple banner. So then I just kind of went in with my scissors and just kind of cut into a point. Like that. And then I'm going to take my evening evergreen ribbon again, and I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm just going to wrap it around and do like a little fake knot in the middle. Angle it a bit. Oh, here I go again with doing my... Okay. And then I'm going to glue this. And you can use your adhesive also. I like to use my glue because then I can move things, because you know how I am. I never have anything straight, including this. Okay, and then I just took a little piece of scrap, a piece of scrap basic white, and I stamped the With Sympathy. Let me clean this off. I'm just going to dab this too, because let me do that again. Squeak, squeak. And then I can either just hand do it, or I can just stick it in the middle of here in my banner punch, which is what I'm going to do. And let's trim that. So, I'm losing pieces, parts. I think I might, in fact I probably will, I'm going to break down, oh look, so this card, that's why I don't leave stamp pads. No, the tree is stamped in soft succulent too. It's all soft succulent. Look at this one, I dimensionaled up, and this one I didn't. So that I'm doing the opposite with this one. No, the whole thing is soft succulent. So I'm going to dimensional this up, my With Sympathy. And then I'm going to put I know I left everything out. And my banner is a little bit bigger on this one than it was on this one. there. Oops, put that on the wrong end. I got a couple packs of these jewels in here. I like these. I don't, for some reason, I don't care for the matte color ones. I like the sparkly, crystally looking ones. So I'm going to put the same sentiment on the inside. The heartfelt love. And then I'm going to stamp on the bottom, as soon as I find it, this, which is the decorative border from the daffodil set. There we go. I didn't realize how much my ink pads needed to be re-inked until I started re-inking them. Okay. So this one we've dimensional, this one here we did not. We got a little bit bigger banner on this one than we do on that one, so a little bit different. Okay, and the last card is my favorite. Let me clean all of this. I took my chamois out of my box. Cleaned a bunch of my blocks too. I was on a roll. I am putting an order in tonight. If there's anything that anybody wants, let me know and I can add you to it. Okay, this one we are going to emboss. Oops, I missed the stamp here. And here is the stamp. Unfortunately, Miss Crooked Me, it's got this all crooked, but we're going to do much better this time. And then I did the heartfelt love on the inside, and again put that little banner on the bottom. That pale papaya is really hard to see on the camera. So, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to fold our pale papaya in half. I'm glad this isn't one of the in colors that are going. We got another year of this. Alright, and then are these the same size? No. So that must be my inside. That was one thing I was teaching the ladies this weekend is make sure you got all your pieces parts. Put them together first to make sure what goes where. Okay. So we are going to stamp the tree again in Versamark. I'm going to make sure I got my stuff out here. Stamp it on the edge. I got a feeling my tree is blowing in the wind. And then I'm going to use white embossing powder. And this is Emboss Resist that we're doing. And I'm going to put my embossing powder on. This back in my little jar. Okay, and I'm going to use my heat gun. You can see it melting, the embossing powder. Okay, so you can see it's all glossy. Did I get that up there? Yeah. Okay. Don't do that when it's hot because it melts on your fingers and it hurts. Okay. So now we're going to take our blending brushes and I want to get off whatever's on there. And we are going to start with the lightest color. So we're going to do Pale Papaya. And we're just going to come on and we're just going to go over the whole thing with our Pale Papaya. Whoops. That wasn't good, huh? So we start with the lightest color. Okay. Then we're going to go into some pumpkin pie. And it's kind of the same, the orangey color family, so I'm going to use my same brush. Okay, and I'm going to start off. I'm going to go real light over here. I don't want too much color over on the side there. Oh, my Lord! What am I doing to this paper? I think I'm pushing too hard. And then I'm going to go in with just a tad of Cajun Craze. Just around the tree. Okay. Then I'm going to take a paper towel, a napkin, whatever you've got, and I'm just going to rub over where we embossed, because the embossing is going to resist the color. And you see it's coming up off of where we embossed. Okay. I have massacred this piece of paper. Okay. Then I'm going to take out of the very Versailles, I guess it's called, the words. And I'm going to stamp along the edge. And I'm going to go off the top a little bit. Like that. There we go. And then again, I'm just going to take a scrap and I'm going to stamp "Thinking of You" on the scrap. And I'm just going to do my little darts, cut in the middle, and come and cut on the sides. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue it onto my black, which is my matte. Let's see if I can get this on the right way this time. I think I had it on good the last time, but it slid and I just let it slide with it. So then I took some twine and again I'm just gonna put some marks on the back here to catch it, and I left long enough to tie a bow with the one side. And I went around a couple times. And I'm going to cut this will be the side I'm going to have to tie my knot and stuff with, because the other side's a little short. Actually, you know what? We're gonna loosen it up a little bit. There we go. Much better, I think. I hope. I don't know, that side's a little small again. Won't make it work, I think. Yeah, we just got a little itty bitty bow this time. Okay, I'm going to stick a glue dot behind that to hold that. Alright, and then I'm going to put my Thinking of You on with some dimensionals. And just put that down there. And I'm going to glue this on here. I'm going to put some pale papaya rhinestones on here. bigger one down there. Like that. I think I'm going to have to order some more of these because these are like my favorites. Okay, and then on the inside, I just stamped in the memento the heartfelt love. Caring thoughts. And then in the pale papaya, I stamped that little banner across the bottom again. There we go. So here's our last card. And then here's the second cards we made. And then here's the first ones. So now I have some sympathy cards that I can send out, unfortunately. And that is all I have for tonight. Thank you for joining me. Please like and share my videos. And have a good week. And I will see you guys next Monday. Bye-bye.